Yeah. Okay. We had a great segue like about 3 minutes ago, so I'm just gonna like pretend that just happened. So we were talking about like NSL being an attractive place to play, right? And then our own Rhian Wilkinson, pride of Canada, pride of Wales, was talking about it after her team fought valiantly, had the support from the Red Wall with all of these Welsh fans out in full voice supporting their team. But Rhian said she needs her team to play at a higher standard year in and year out, or day in and day out. They come back for the international window. She has them for 10 days on average. So in their individual setups, and you could also apply this to Casey Stoney and our women's national team after they suffered, I think, kind of an embarrassing defeat to the U.S. women's national team where they were abject on the day and they lost 3-0, where you look at the playing time of a lot of our players, they're not getting enough meaningful minutes. So Rhian said that she had 5 players who are unattached, who are without a contract. So like they need a pro setup. Maybe we have some Welsh players coming NSL's way. Like who knows? But that's for another time. I just wanted to talk about our friend, talk about Rhian and her performance, what she's done in a year with the Welsh women's national team. And obviously they were in that group of death. So, suffered defeats versus the Dutch and the French, and then the defending champions and the holders in the English. That was a pretty heavy defeat versus England on Sunday. But I think they can leave with their heads held high and focusing not only on the development in Wales for the future, but on their appearance at a next major competition. Because I think this team's going places with Rhian at the helm.
Agreed. I mean, I feel like this is something we all agree on. Rhian just being the right human being, as a coach, and obviously her knowledge of the game and her reputation, but just, I think, how much she cares about this program. I know she cares about the Canadian program, but like how she cares about the Welsh program and how that's permeated, like the women's game has, I think because of her, has permeated into like Welsh society. I mean, I don't live over there. I don't know, but I just feel like there's this swell of red, as you mentioned, the Red Wall, like, you just sort of felt it, like just getting it through social media. Like I just felt that way. And, they put in a good fight. Like I would say like the first half of like, certainly the game, which game am I thinking of?
Thinking of the France game, maybe?
France game. I feel like the fight was there, for a certain amount of time. But I mean, like these are teams that their players are playing day in and day out and like Division 1 in France. Like there's a difference, right? And wonderful that, and fitting that Jess Fishlock got their first ever goal. I think that was a wonderful moment for Wales.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just great to see. And also it's great to see, and like, I'm not switching subjects. Let's stay on the Rhian thing, but I just want to point out, like seeing other teams in the quarterfinals, like, Italy and like Switzerland is amazing to see. It's also scary for the Canadian women's national team, because I look at some of these European nations and I'm like, ooh boy, it's going to be tough. Women's World Cup in 2027. It's going to be tough.
Yes.
Like, I think it was Claire and I were watching and I think you guys were on the chat too. Well, we're on the same group chat, but the Italy-Portugal game was like an absolute slugfest. Like it was, and I mean that in the nicest way. Like it was like end to end, and those aren't two of the top European nations. And I thought, boy, oh boy, we're going to be in trouble if we don't get things going.
Yeah, to me, like that's the game that's on the docket today. So I've got this up here for those of you that are watching with us, and for our audio listeners. So the quarterfinals, we've got Norway and Italy going today, and then tomorrow, because we're recording on Wednesday, is Sweden and England, and then Friday we'll pit Spain versus Switzerland, and I said holders. Sorry, England won 2 Euros ago, correct? And then Spain won the last ones. Yeah. That's what I should have said. Don't send me letters.
For me, the Rhian story is a huge part of it. And I've been collecting articles from Europe. I have a lot of colleagues and friends over there covering. Beth Fisher is one of them. Huge supporter of Wales, and also has done some incredible stories and just the telling of how this comes to be, but also just really the passion behind it and how one vision and one manager can really change the culture of a team. And when we used to think of Wales, we used to think of Wrexham. We don't. We think of the women's national squad now. And that is an incredible feat. Like, I think Rhian is cuter than Ryan Reynolds anyway, but like, and fabulous. But it's even about galvanizing a nation to stand behind you, which is so powerful, and particularly a nation like Wales, where football is so embedded into their culture and their identity. Like, to be able to do that, like, I'm wondering if she's on their money yet. Is she on their currency? No, because it's got to be the king, because, you know, whatever, or whoever, whatever. They're in the UK, so they would be pounds, right? Sig?
I believe so, but I think it's a complicated relationship, right?
Currency? I don't even know. I need to Google this.
I believe so. But did you guys see Rhian go over like the end, like not the end boards? That's a very hockey thing for me to say, but over
the walls.
The edge well, yeah, like the edge of the stadium and like the boards around the ad boards, like around the field, and then shake people's hands, like in that red wall in that.
Yes,
in the
security was like, losing their shit. Yes. Though. They were like, "What is she doing?" But it was.
But it's such a like. I would love. If she'd been mic'd up for that segment, she'd be like, just like very politely, but very firmly, like just out of my way. And I'm going to go and shake these people's hands. Okay. Signa has just said that England are the reigning champs, and the Dutch was a year before, obviously under Serena Wiegman, right? So she coached the Dutch to the championship and then was at the helm when England won. Okay. Thank you. I don't know why I thought Spain was in there.
Because
Spain's had, they've had I think, was it the men's team that simultaneously they were holders of
the World
Cup
and
the Euros.
The men won the
So
Euros.
my brain is confusing all of these things. But yes, our friend Rhian, and did you guys see her beautiful bespoke
I was
blazer?
Gonna say that was literally the next thing I was gonna say.
Okay,
was her
look
coat
at us always on the same page.
Yes. Her jacket.
I think if you are going to be a manager, you need to have your coat game be excellent. I think that's what has to happen. I think that is actually the key, because her fits that particular fit was stunning.
Yes. And she herself looks fit. Like, she looks to be in top condition.
It's all the hiking she does.
I know. It's like, that's usually when I speak to her. I haven't spoken to her since the Euros started. We've been texting, but we haven't had like a proper conversation. And she usually calls me like breathless and like cars going by. She's like, "Oh, sorry, I might lose you here." Like, cause I'm in some sort of field. And I'm like, "Yeah, well, you're in Wales. That's basically where you end up roaming." But yeah, so she goes on these massive hikes and gets lost.
Amy, tell me from your perspective. This is your friend, your teammate, your buddy. Like, what's it like for you to watch this unfolding?
You turning the tables on me. It's great. I'm so proud. Like, I feel almost like a mom or an auntie or a grandma, you know, watching my child almost, which sounds patronizing, but I've started to try to normalize saying like, I love you to everybody who is dear to me in my life, whether they're friends or family or whomever, whether I've known them since I was little or new friends. I think it's important to state it. If you have something nice to say to somebody, you think something lovely, say it out loud. And also say that you're proud. And I'm so proud of my friend. I'm so proud of her. So anyway, I'm going to get all emotional here. But I think she's doing great things. And I'm also proud of the way that she carries herself. Like, to hear Rhian, her post-tournament press conference. She's so candid. She speaks so openly. She isn't afraid to criticize herself, to call out where she felt like she got things wrong. And she did. She said that she thought she was out-coached, that she got her rotations wrong. And yeah, whether or not you agree with it is something different. But she's like, this is me, this is where I am, and I'm going to strive to do better. And I'm going to do my absolute best to try to take this team to where I think they can be, because I have tremendous belief in them. And so I have tremendous belief in my friend. And Rhian, just so you know, you're not going to be listening to this, but Canada is proud of you. And I know all of Wales is proud of you too.